Hey there, it's CJ Willie and I'm cracking a pack today. I'm back with pack number 7 of my 1987 Sportflics baseball box. Since each pack only has 3 cards, I'll talk about my memories of the player from the 1980s and maybe something specific about the player from the 1986 MLB season. I'll also check out the 2 team logo trivia cards and go through the fun facts. Let's get to cracking this pack. Move our box out of the way. All right, we have Dwight Evans on the back. So set it down. Let's start with the 2 team logo trivia cards. Go with the Mets first. Okay, this is the 1986 team leaders card. Keith Hernandez led the team with a .310 batting average. He also was their leader in runs with 94, hits 171, and doubles with 34. Darryl Strawberry led the team with 27 home runs. Gary Carter had 105 RBI. Lenny Dykstra had 31 steals. On the pitching side, Bob Ojeda went 18-5. He also led the team with a 2.57 ERA. Dwight Gooden and Sid Fernandez tied for the team lead in strikeouts with 200. Gooden also had 12 complete games, and Roger McDowell had 22 saves. All right, next up we have the Cleveland Indians logo card. And theirs is also 1986 team leaders. 1986, Pat Tabler led the team with a .326 batting average. Joe Carter led the team in a number of categories. Runs, he had 108, hits 200, doubles 36, home runs 29, 121 RBI, which tied for the league. Brett Butler had 32 steals. Down on the pitching side, Tom Candiotti went 16-12. He also led the team in ERA with a 3.57, strikeouts with 187. He tied for the league lead with 17 complete games, and Ernie Camacho led the team with 19 saves. Our first card is a lefty Astro. I'm going to guess that is Bob Knepper. Flip it around. Bob Knepper began his career with the Giants, then moved on to the Astros. Mainly a .500 pitcher. He had a few good years with the Giants. He went 17-11 in 1978. He had 3 years in a row with the Astros where he had a winning record at 15-10 in 84, 15-13 in 85, and then in 1986 he went 17-12. Next up is, I'm going to guess Dave Parker. He began his career at the Pirates and then moved on to the Reds in 1984. Parker, in my opinion, is a borderline Hall of Famer. I think what hurts him, as you can see on the card back, is that he had a bunch of great years with the Pirates in the mid to late 70s, then fell off a cliff and came to the Reds and resurrected his career. The problem was in many of those middle years where he didn't do so well, Parker had a really hard time with drugs and injuries. If he had been consistent during that drop-off period, Parker no doubt would have been a Hall of Famer. And the final card out of the pack is Dwight Evans. Dwight Evans came with the Red Sox and stayed with the Red Sox until the last years of his career that he spent with the Baltimore Orioles. Dwight Evans was a consistent offensive and defensive threat for the Red Sox. If you compare his statistics with Jim Rice, you'll see that Dwight Evans had a higher WAR, and most of the career stats are pretty even. The only career stat that Jim Rice has on Dwight Evans is batting average. So my favorite card out of the pack, or best card of the pack, this is going to be a little unusual, but I'm going to say it's a tie between Dwight Evans and Dave Parker. These are 2 outfielders that started their careers in the 70s, went all the way through the 80s. Evans got to the very start of the 90s. Both of them, I think, are very borderline Hall of Famers. I would not be surprised to see the Veterans Committee vote them in. They both were all-stars, offensive threats, but I think part of the reason why they didn't make it into the Hall of Fame is the end of their careers took place right at the beginning of the steroids era, and being compared to a lot of the power hitting numbers that were put up in the mid-90s to current don't match well with the performance that Evans and Parker had in the 70s and 80s. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please subscribe and share. Also share with me in the comments what your favorite card and what you thought was the best card in the pack. Until next time when I'm back to crack pack number 8 in my 1987 Sportflics baseball box.